Hello everybody, I'm Heroic Eli, but you can just call me Eli. Now, I like to do this kind of stuff, so I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna put out who I believe should be in these certain movies, or these characters. The first one I will do is Superman, and I might make a series of it. Like, first I will do Superman, and then Batman, and then Wonder Woman. But for some of them, they're already hooked on. But first, I will do Superman. Now, Superman was really hard because you had to fine-tune it really well. So, this is the cast. If you don't like it, then you can get over it because it's just a fan cast. A fan cast. And that's it. The first one I have is Henry Cavill for Superman. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Why this guy for Superman? Well, he has the look of Superman. He literally does look like Superman. I've never seen him act before. But in my mind, he may be a good actor. He looks like it. He looks exactly like Superman. So it must be a good choice. He's a good choice. And that's just a fan idea. There are many other hopefuls, but I really don't want to get into it. For Lois Lane, I chose Olivia Wilde. Now, I watch House. She's aggressive. She's brass. If I don't even know what I mean by that. But she can be a strong Lois Lane. She even looks like Lois Lane. So, that could be another one. She is hopeful. Some other people, some want Emily Blunt, which may be good for some people, but for me, Olivia Wilde is the best. Now, I have Lex Luthor on here. And I know half of you are saying, oh no, he has Lex Luthor. He wants Lex Luthor to be in a movie. Well, I do. I want him to be the corporate billionaire who doesn't do anything. He's just in the background. He's a villain, but he's not the main villain, per se. He's just the one that helps the person who is going to be the villain kind of like step in. And in my mind, I think Billy Zane. Now, he looks like the animated one. Heck, he even sounds like the animated one. So in my mind, he is Lex Luthor. And he's really good at being an arrogant bad guy. I mean, in Titanic, he was an arrogant bad guy. So that kind of helps out. Okay, now I have Brainiac. Brainiac, in my mind, would also be a background villain, only coming in if there was a series of movies, like of 6, he would come in the 6th one. And I would have Lex Luthor come in in the 6th one as one of the people he fights, putting on the actual Luthor, trademark Luthor suit, then able to fight Superman. The person I chose was Hugo Weaving. He's a terrific actor. He played Elrond in The Lord of the Rings. He played V in V for Vendetta. He played Megatron in Transformers. He even played Agent Smith in The Matrix. And he was amazing! And soon he's about to play the Red Skull in Captain America. But Hugo Weaving is Brainiac. That's all I can say. I feel like Brainiac is this heartless man, and Hugo Weaving can play this heartless, no soul kind of robot. Super intelligent. He can play the brain interactive construct. It's just that simple. Jimmy Olsen. No, wait, never mind. Forget Jimmy Olsen at the moment. I casted General Zod because in my mind, the first movie should have Kryptonian versus Kryptonian. But I had like this sick. If I were to write a comic book, this is how I'd have it. I had a six separate novel thing. The first one is literally I retell the origin of Superman and all that, blah blah blah, etc. etc. But then I have General Zod being the first villain. And for that one, I had Jason Statham. Now, the reason I have Jason Statham is because he's a good actor. He's one of those actors who can fight and act at the exact same time. He's good. He is a good actor. And I believe he's of the English heritage. And if he is, it seems like, if you have noticed, General Zod has been played by a British dude in almost every single incarnation, except for Smallville, which Michael Rosenbaum was sort of the vessel, but I won't go into that. But Major Zod in Smallville, British. Terrence Stamp in the Superman movies, he was British. And now I have Jason Statham, who I want to play General Zod, which is good in my mind. He would be a good choice. Now on to Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen, I have Michael Cera. Michael Cera is one of those laggy guys who's a little nerdy, but he'd make a good Jimmy Olsen. He'd be a good, like, with Superman being this heroic, Lois Lane being this wanna get the right story, and then having Jimmy Olsen played by Michael Cera, who'd kind of be the comic relief of it all. And it'd be a good trio with that. That's how I always had it. Perry White. Ed Harris. I've seen Ed Harris in some movies, and he could play a Perry White. He could play this guy who always wants the right story, who always wants it all, who wants the right thing. And I think that could be Ed Harris. Ed Harris. I'm going to say it one more time. Ed Harris could play Perry White. Now, on down. I casted Metallo just for, like, a bodyguard to Lex Luthor. Well, my original story is with Lex Luthor being president and him being a friend to Clark Kent, blah, blah, blah. Brainiac being the vice president, who's kind of like, no one knows he's Brainiac, but his name is Brian Yackle, which, if anyone kind of gets the thing, and all that. John Coleman being the Secretary of Treasury, Rudy Jones being the Secretary of the State, and having Bizarro, who literally is a duplicate of Superman, being the, what's it called? I don't know. That general dude, I forgot what they call him. But I don't know. But I casted Josh Lucas for John Coleman and Metallo. Josh Lucas hasn't been in that many movies that much as of lately. But in my mind, he could play one of them, like, sorry. He could play one of them type of guys. You know, if I were to have it, one of them, like, secretary that. But then I changed the entire story to, like, having him as a bodyguard. Like, one of them unwanted bodyguards and all that. John Coleman can play one of them unwanted bodyguards. But then, like, Luthor gets him and then puts the Metallo in him. And all that. And in my mind, that would be a good... that would be a good battle. And all. For Superman.